Hello again, welcome back for Nutbrook Canal Part 2. If you haven't seen Part 1 yet, there'll be a link in the description. But for the rest of you, you're rejoining us as we continue northwest on our way towards Shipley, and the detective work is warming up. At this point there are a lot of things in not a lot of space. The railway has left us to the west, which is to the right in this view, at Straws Bridge, top right hand corner, while the Nutbrook Canal and the new footpath are all channelled into this small area to the east, which is the centre. On the approach to Straws Bridge is a distinct lack of remains of the 7th lock, which unfortunately is no longer in situ. The whole area having been significantly altered by the coming and the going of the railway, the surrounding industry, nature reserves and the associated footpaths, all of which have encroached upon the original construction at one time or another. Straws Bridge was named after Samuel Straw, who was the overseer of the Nutbrook Canal and lived in an adjacent and long demolished cottage. Today, this is lock number 7, and we went deeply into this in order to find anything which may remain. I can categorically report that, apart from a pint or two of my own blood, there is nothing left to see here. Since March of 2015, the whole area has been a rather impressive nature reserve, offering pleasant walks and the opportunity to get as close to the local wildlife as you like, or, if you prefer, to leave the beaten track and be ripped to pieces by the undergrowth. Note to self. Blackberry and apple pie in September. Pre-arranged blood transfusions now. At one time, a large embankment took the Great Northern Railway's Friegate line from Derby Friegate to the left, right towards Ilkeston North and Nottingham Victoria over the canal. At this point, it would be traversing a large junction which included mines, marshalling yards, spurs and Stanton Ironworks and the Midland Railway's line to Malpool and Heanor. The banking, although having been reduced, is still quite impressive. These days, Lock 8 is almost invisible due to the large amount of vegetation which now calls this area home. Over the years, nature has hidden the brickwork and all the paraphernalia which went with it. A keen eye will be able to discover the odd relic, such as the lock walls and a post which once supported a lock gate. But as is the story with most of the canal, nature is taking her own back. Over this bridge, the old Midland Railway Mapley branch once crossed the Nutbrook, and slightly north of it, to our left, is the site of the 9th lock. Not much of this is still obvious, but that is a trend which only gets more so as we progress. There are a few telltale signs still remaining, and from here on we work with old maps to tell us where things used to be. Again, leaving the path to suffer nature's revenge for what we've done to her over the years pays off, with, in spite of blood loss, the discovery of telltale signs of the previous existence of the lock. There's even a silted up step where the lock exited into the next level. And of course the almost obligatory keystone for the lock gate assembly. It's at this point that, for no obvious reason, the footpath turns a sharp right and heads towards the now long gone Midland Railway's Nutbrook sidings, which once served the equally long gone Nutbrook colliery. From here, the canal's route carries on ahead, with only a very muddy footpath along its side. Lock 10 used to be here, but I could find no evidence of this on the land. One way or another, it's now gone, as indeed have all the rest. The main line has left its scar across the fields, but this too soon fades, as more modern requirements have necessitated its removal. And here is the site of Lock 11, which appears to have been in the field and under the hedge. It's now long buried under the earth. Nothing now remains of this, as the embankment for the settling ponds has been built over it. Lock 12 was situated actually beneath the tailings ponds, where the deserted mine's water is now being pumped out and left to settle. In keeping with the rest, it has left no obvious traces. Here at Parker's Bridge and the view along the canal bed represent the most northerly surviving traces before the canal is covered by the spoil tip, which now removes any further artefacts. Lock 13 and the associated wharves were once beneath this mound, along with a canal terminus and a railhead, all stretching slightly beyond and below what is now a footpath around Shipley Lake, which itself was, one time together with Mapley Reservoir, one of the two main feeder lakes for the Nutbrook Canal, one time centre of Britannia Park and later the American Adventure. Now a housing development, so it's not really difficult to understand why there is little or nothing left of the original site of the canal. Over the years the site has been constantly repurposed and consequently rebuilt until we have what we see here. For now. Right, so here we are, Journey's End. This is where the Nutbrook Canal finished. Not a lot to look at, to be honest. Just an open field. We're on a heap about 20 or 30 feet deep, which is built on top of where all the wharves and the railway tracks were. So there's nothing to see. But we've done it. Journey's End. We're here. Okay, well, I've had a load of fun making this, and I hope you've had as much fun watching it. Hope we see each other again. Ruby's got a ball every take. Hope we see each other again next time. Till then, take care, look after yourselves. And I'll leave you, well, with a bit of an anticlimax, frankly. Come on, girls, we're going. Well, that really is it for this time. No part 3, I'm afraid. Please feel free to look at the other videos on my channel. A link will magically appear in the description with the normal efficiency with which you've come to expect of me, just as long as I remember. I really hope you enjoyed this and indeed the other videos. If so, then please go onto the Owl's YouTube channel. A like, a subscribe, a comment and a thumbs up on the channel would be greatly appreciated. That way you'll be sure not to miss any of them. Hopefully I'll see you here next time. Until then, have fun and stay safe.